In the cultivation world, there were treasures that brought fortune and treasures that carried calamity. Some objects could elevate a cultivator to the heavens, while others would quietly drag them into an abyss with no return. The difference did not lie in the object itself, but in who was fated to touch it. On this day, within the whole treasure pavilion of planet Ran Yun, such an object was about to surface. A single pill, silent, ordinary in appearance, devoid of any medicinal fragrance, yet heavy enough to crush lives, overturn destinies, and stir ancient grudges long buried beneath the flow of time. For most, it was poison. For some, it was temptation. And for one man, it was a thread deliberately cast, waiting to entangle him in a web woven years ago. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. A streak of crimson light cleaved through the northern domain of the all-heaven star system, tearing across the void like a falling star. From within that radiance, an ancient voice slowly echoed, "Maya, this is your teacher's homeland, and it shall also be your future home." Thinking back now, it has been thousands of years since I last returned. Were it not for the all-heaven stone left behind by the ancestor, it would not have been so easy for this old man to bring you here. Within the ray of red light stood a woman. As her gaze swept across the unfamiliar star system, not the slightest sense of belonging stirred in her heart. "The planet that appears like glass is Thousand Illusion," the old man continued. "It is one of the 5 primary stars of the northern domain of the all-heaven star system. Maya, our all-heaven star system, places great importance on bloodlines. Without a recognized family bloodline, you will be unable to cultivate higher-tier techniques, nor will you receive the protection of the clan." He paused briefly before speaking again, his tone turning solemn. "From this moment on, aside from being my disciple, you shall also be my adopted daughter. Once we return to planet Thousand Illusion, I will perform the blood exchange ritual and alter your bloodline. From then on, you will no longer be known as Liu Mei, but as Huan Mei. Do you agree?" The old man's eyes gleamed as he looked at the woman before him. He was deeply satisfied with this disciple of his, and had no wish to see her suffer under the rigid, ancient customs of the all-heaven star system. Without a proper bloodline, she would possess no status at all. Thus, he did not hesitate to employ the rarely used and highly precious blood exchange ritual to rewrite her very lineage. The woman fell silent in thought. Her master had already spoken of this matter during their journey here. After a brief pause, she nodded gently. "Everything shall proceed according to master's will." The old man burst into laughter, his joy unrestrained. "Maya, this old man will certainly nurture you into a second-step cultivator. One day you will surpass even this old man's Nirvana Scrya realm." The crimson light surged forward once more, streaking through the heavens. Only the lingering echo of laughter remained as it shot straight toward the radiant planet Thousand Illusion. The woman gazed upon the planet, her thoughts quietly churning. "This journey to the all-heaven star system marks a new life for me. Wang Lin, and everything that happened on planet Suzaku now belong to the past." Her eyes dimmed slightly. With his talent, he has likely not even reached the ascendant stage yet. And even then, whether he could survive the life and death trial upon breaking through remains uncertain. The gap between us has only grown wider and wider. He is no longer worthy of being considered my opponent. A faint sigh escaped her lips. It's a pity. The special magical treasure I once prepared for him is now utterly useless. As she recalled the treasure crafted specifically for Wang Lin, a fleeting trace of heartbreak flickered in her eyes. Yet it was quickly buried beneath a mask of cold indifference. He is probably still on planet Suzaku. Compared to me, he no longer exists on the same plane. The crimson light descended into planet Thousand Illusion and vanished without a trace. On planet Ran Yun, countless celestial jades floated in mid-air around Wang Lin as he steadily absorbed the surrounding celestial, spiritual energy. 7 days passed in silence. At last he slowly opened his eyes. Lightning flickered within his gaze, making his eyes appear both strange and profound. He inhaled deeply, devouring the last remnants of celestial spiritual energy. The jades surrounding him crumbled into fine dust. As if sensing something, Wang Lin turned his gaze outward. He rose to his feet and stepped outside. Beneath a massive stone nearby, a young woman was still cultivating. She exhaled softly, releasing 2 wisps of white qi that spiraled around her body before gradually dissipating. Opening her eyes, she gazed up at the sky and murmured, "My talent may be lacking, but with diligence, I will one day reach the mid-stage of the nascent soul realm." At that very moment, her brows furrowed. Someone was approaching. The newcomer had jet-black hair and wore a plain purple robe devoid of any ornamentation. He appeared no older than 30, handsome and refined, yet exuded a fierce, oppressive aura that made him stand out unmistakably. Standing there, he seemed to merge seamlessly with his surroundings, as though the world itself had accepted his presence. It was impossible to distinguish where he ended and the environment began. With his hands clasped behind his back, he stared toward the entrance as if waiting for someone. Noticing the woman's gaze, he cast her a casual glance before promptly ignoring her. The young woman's frown deepened. She could not discern this man's cultivation level, yet her instincts screamed danger. A deep sense of crisis surged from the depths of her soul. At that moment, light flickered at the entrance of one of the rooms, and someone stepped out. It was Wang Lin. The instant Wang Lin appeared, the man in purple moved. A formless pressure, majestic and awe-inspiring, emanated from Wang Lin's body. A trace of battle intent flashed within the eyes of the man in purple, only to be forcibly suppressed. Aside from Wang Lin, no one else noticed it. The air suddenly turned icy cold. The young woman's heart skipped a beat as an ominous premonition washed over her. Seeing Wang Lin step out, she cried urgently, "Go back." Wang Lin paused, turning to look at her in surprise. She sprang to her feet. Her oversized robe hung awkwardly from her slender frame, yet her expression was resolute. In just a few strides, she reached the formation's control point. "What are you still standing there for?" she urged. "Go back. This person is clearly here for you. I'm responsible for this formation. I'll ensure your safety." As she spoke, she slapped her storage pouch, and a jade talisman appeared in her hand. Wang Lin studied her carefully before calmly replying, "You are not his opponent." She frowned, raising the jade talisman. "You don't need to worry about that. If you insist on coming out, then I won't interfere any further." Wang Lin froze for a moment. Then he quietly took 2 steps back, retreating into the formation. She immediately moved to stand before him, facing the man in purple. "Senior, this is a residential area belonging to my Sun family. May I ask what brings Senior here?" The man in purple was briefly startled. His suppressed battle intent vanished completely. A hint of amusement surfaced in his eyes as he carefully examined her. "What is your name?" he asked with a smile. She hesitated briefly before replying, "This junior is named Sun Ling." He nodded approvingly. "You are diligent in your duties. Very good. You may step aside. The person I seek is the one behind you." Sun Ling's expression changed instantly. "Senior, if he steps outside this area, I will not interfere. But as long as he remains here, his safety falls under my responsibility." The man's brows knit together as he fixed her with a cold gaze. His eyes then shifted past her, landing squarely on Wang Lin. That single glance caused Sun Ling's body to tremble violently. In that instant, she no longer felt she was facing a cultivator, but an ancient, ferocious beast. That gaze was a warning. Say another word, refuse to move, and she would be torn apart without mercy. Wang Lin remained calm, utterly indifferent to the man's stare. Though her origin soul trembled, Sun Ling stubbornly remained in place. Wang Lin watched her back, a thoughtful glint appearing in his eyes. She inhaled sharply, clenching her teeth. "Senior, as long as he does not leave, I am responsible for his safety. Besides, he is merely a core formation cultivator." "Senior." Displeasure surfaced in the man's heart. To be repeatedly challenged by a junior of such low standing was intolerable. "You step back." Before he could finish, Wang Lin spoke. "That's enough." His voice was calm and emotionless as he stepped out of the formation. The moment he did, Sun Ling cried out, "Why did you come out? Go back." She was already about to crush the jade talisman in her hand. Wang Lin turned back and smiled faintly. "There is no need to worry." With that, he walked toward the man in purple. A blue mist spread out, enveloping the area and blocking Sun Ling's view entirely. 30 steps separated them. Wang Lin advanced unhurriedly, his expression tranquil. The man in purple initially appeared relaxed, but as Wang Lin drew closer, an immense pressure descended upon him. When Wang Lin was 10 steps away, the pressure reached its peak. The man's expression shifted. His eyes shone brightly as he stared at Wang Lin, forcing himself to stand his ground. Wang Lin took another step. The instant his foot landed, a thunderous roar exploded within the man's mind. It was as though that step had not struck the earth but his consciousness itself. He staggered back a step. One step became many. With each of Wang Lin's next 8 steps, thunder roared again and again within the man's mind. The power stacked relentlessly, forming a violent storm in his consciousness. His face turned pale as shock flooded his eyes. On the final step, Wang Lin raised his foot and fixed the man with an icy gaze, then brought it down. If the previous steps had been a gradual accumulation, this final step was the complete release. The man's expression changed drastically. He retreated without hesitation and clasped his hands. "Fellow cultivator, I had no ill intent." Wang Lin cast him a cold glance and walked past him. The man in purple let out a bitter smile and followed after him. When the blue mist dispersed, all traces of the confrontation vanished. Unaware of what had transpired within, Sun Ling sighed softly and resumed her seated cultivation beneath the stone. It will be difficult for him to survive after being taken away by that senior. Shaken, she closed her eyes and continued cultivating. She had fulfilled her duty. After reaching the northern part of the city, Wang Lin strolled leisurely toward the whole treasure pavilion in the east. The man in purple followed behind, his expression awkward. "Fellow cultivator Shu, my name is Sun Shi. I truly had no ill intent earlier." Ordinarily, with his status, he would never speak so humbly to someone of similar cultivation. However, during their brief exchange, Shu Mu's cultivation had proven unfathomably deep, so deep that Sun Shi could not discern even the slightest clue. More importantly, he had sensed something terrifying, an unwavering confidence and an overwhelming killing intent. Such an aura could only belong to someone who had slain opponents of equal cultivation, and not just once. Sun Shi was one of the 3 ascendant cultivators of planet Ran Yun, the ancestral patriarch of the Sun family, an early-stage ascendant. Having just concluded his seclusion beneath the sea, he had rushed directly to the city. Wang Lin spoke calmly. "I warned you before." In his heart, although Sun Shi stood at the same cultivation realm as him, Wang Lin had never regarded him as an equal. In truth, he did not consider any cultivator on planet Ran Yun to be a threat. Moreover, Sun Shi had still come after hearing his warning. That alone was enough to show that Sun Shi had not come to make trouble, but to ask for a favor. Even so, a lesson was still necessary. Without punishment, there would only be more troubles in the future. That was why Wang Lin's tone carried no courtesy whatsoever. Wang Lin had cultivated for nearly 1,000 years and experienced countless trials in life. He understood a simple truth. Most of the time, if you treat others as equals, they will take you for weak. But if you treat them as weak, they will instead treat you as strong. This principle was no different from the children in Wang Lin's village long ago. Those who showed weakness were bullied endlessly. Those who revealed their strength were rarely provoked. It had been the same even within his own family. The strong and the weak were never equals. The divide between them was as vast as heaven and earth. This was a matter of mentality. If you are weak, the other is strong. If you are strong, the other becomes weak. After cultivating for so many years, Wang Lin understood this all too well. Sun Shi fell silent, pondering. After a long while, he let out a bitter smile. "This was my recklessness," he admitted. "But I had an urgent matter to request, which is why I acted hastily." Wang Lin did not respond. He continued walking forward without slowing his pace. Sun Shi clenched his teeth. Brother Shu, if you help me just this once, I can mobilize my entire Sun family to assist you in cultivation. Wang Lin replied flatly, your family cannot afford to support 2 ascendant cultivators. Sun Shi's expression grew solemn. Brother Shu, it is true that my Sun family cannot sustain 2 ascendant cultivators. However, if you help me, I can give you a spot to enter the Thunder Celestial Realm 100 years from now. Wang Lin paused. He glanced sideways at Sun Shi, then withdrew his gaze and resumed walking. Sun Shi continued, his eyes half closed, as though casually explaining something of no great importance. Brother Shu should know that every time the Thunder Celestial Realm opens within the All-Heaven star system, all Thunder Cauldrons used to enter it are controlled by the Thunder Celestial Hall. It is impossible for outsiders to obtain one. Only cultivators of the All-Heaven star system or families officially recorded by the Thunder Celestial Hall may receive a spot. Very few ascendant cultivators were not cunning. Sun Shi, the founding ancestor of his family, was no exception. Earlier, under Wang Lin's overwhelming pressure, he had no choice but to lower himself. But now he had begun his counterattack. Those seemingly casual words carried an unmistakable implication, casting doubt upon Wang Lin's origins. Wang Lin smiled faintly. Your family has a junior named Sun Xueshan. Is he doing well? A strange glint flashed through Sun Ji's eyes. He gave Wang Lin a meaningful look before smiling. Xueshan's cultivation is decent, though his experience is lacking. I am deeply grateful to Brother Shu for saving him. They exchanged smiles and withdrew their gazes. Yet Sun Shi's fear of Wang Lin only deepened. As he glanced at Wang Lin from the corner of his eye, he sighed inwardly. This person's origins are unfathomable, and his thinking is terrifyingly profound. Sun Qiming's earlier probing was instantly seen through. Even the doubt I raised about his identity was dissolved by his casual mention of Xueshan. He has already altered his appearance. At most, I can pretend not to notice and refrain from investigating further. Yet he admitted it himself without the slightest concern. He is clearly not afraid of me knowing. His cultivation is far above mine. Such a person must be befriended. Turning him into an enemy would be a calamity for my Sun family. Planet Donglin, could he truly be from planet Donglin? Sun Shi broke the silence. Is Brother Shu satisfied with my proposal? This matter can be discussed later, Wang Lin replied indifferently. I need time to consider it. With a single sentence, he neatly deflected the question. Sun Shi sighed inwardly and abandoned further probing. Instead, he began introducing Planet Ran Yun to Wang Lin. As they conversed, they soon arrived at the whole treasure pavilion on the eastern side of the city. Today was the auction day. A large crowd of cultivators had gathered outside the pavilion. More than 10 attendants stood at the entrance, receiving guests and guiding them inside according to the rank displayed on their tokens. The moment Sun Shi and Wang Lin approached Sun Qiming, who had been waiting outside, hurried over. His eyes were filled with reverence as he bowed deeply. Third-generation descendant Sun Qiming greets old ancestor and senior Shu. Sun Shi revealed his imposing authority in front of others. He merely nodded without speaking. Sun Qiming had arrived earlier. Although the whole treasure pavilion belonged to the Ran family, Sun Qiming was the head of the Sun family branch in this city. His status naturally surpassed that of ordinary cultivators. Without allowing an attendant to guide them, he personally led Wang Lin and Sun Shi straight to the 4th floor. The young man named Lu, who had previously blocked Wang Lin from entering, was speaking with several customers. When he saw Wang Lin, he raised his head and froze in shock. Then he noticed Sun Qiming. His heart jolted violently. As for Sun Shilu, did not recognize him. Yet seeing Sun Qiming's extreme respect, he immediately realized that Sun Shi must be a figure of terrifying status within the Sun family. As his gaze returned to Wang Lin, a vague sense of loss surfaced in Lu's heart. It feels as though I missed something extremely important. The whole treasure pavilion had 4 floors. The 4th floor was divided into private rooms. Sun Shi and Wang Lin entered the first room on the left. The location was excellent. Everything on the auction floor below was visible at a glance. Sun Qiming stood respectfully at the side, awaiting instructions. The moment Wang Lin entered the room, a strange sensation stirred within his mind. Something seemed to resonate faintly. He spread out his divine sense and immediately detected an aged figure on the third floor. "It's him." Wang Lin was startled. He instantly withdrew his divine sense. The imprint on his body is extremely faint. Most of it has already dissipated. Something is wrong. Sun Shi looked at Wang Lin and slowly said, "Brother Shu, this rank 8 pill has a history. It does not originate from planet Ran Yun. It belonged to a foreign cultivator who was gravely injured and fled here. Either Ran family's ancestor and carefree Jushi joined forces to steal it. That cultivator ultimately died at the hands of the Ran family's ancestor." Wang Lin frowned slightly and glanced at Sun Shi without speaking. He disliked hearing secrets of this sort. Yet Sun Shi still told him clearly it was related to the favor he wished to request. Pretending not to notice Wang Lin's gaze, Sun Shi continued, "This happened 4 years ago. The pill is extremely precious, especially for ascendant cultivators like us. There were 5 pills in total. Carefree Jushi and I each obtained one. The Ran family's ancestor, being at the mid-ascendant stage, took the remaining 3. Wang Lin's expression remained unchanged, his eyes fixed on the second floor as though he were not listening at all. Sun Si did not mind. "It's just that these pills are rather hot. We discovered a token from the Huan family of planet Thousand Illusion inside the cultivator's storage pouch." Wang Lin turned his head sharply. His gaze locked onto Sun Shi. "Fellow cultivator Sun," he said flatly, "I do not enjoy listening to stories." Sun Shi smiled faintly. "Brother Shu, if I hadn't told you this, someone else would have. This city belongs to my Sun family, yet the pill is being auctioned here. With Brother Shu's wisdom, you should understand why." Wang Lin's expression remained calm, but his gaze swept across the second floor, turning cold. Sun Si had been watching Wang Lin closely. The instant he sensed that chill, he felt relieved. His objective had been achieved. He said nothing more, quietly pouring himself a cup of tea. The coldness in Wang Lin's eyes vanished in an instant. Unless the mid-ascendant Ran family ancestor allowed it, how could this pill be auctioned openly? Its value was sky-high, yet it was useless to anyone below the ascendant stage. Worse still, such a high-profile auction would only invite calamity. Anyone with sense would never purchase it. A cultivator below the ascendant realm could not consume a rank 8 pill. Doing so would be no different from swallowing poison. The reason this pill appeared here was him. The Ran family was using it to silently lure Wang Lin into buying it. Wang Lin was not surprised that the Ran family knew of his presence. The planet itself bore their name. A family that had maintained such dominance would naturally possess their own means. To take the pill would be to step directly into the events of 4 years ago. Even if he tried to explain matters to the Huan family, it would be meaningless. What deep scheming Wang Lin thought calmly, his heart fully guarded. "If I do not buy it, the Ran family will simply find another way to drag me in." The auction on the second floor began in earnest. Magical treasures, rare materials, and pills were bid upon, one after another. Sun Shi set down his teacup and murmured, "Unfortunately, 4 years ago, that person died before revealing his identity. Had we known he belonged to the Huan family, we would never have dared to strike. The Huan family of planet Thousand Illusion is notoriously domineering. If one of their members is killed, everyone involved directly or indirectly must die. Even obtaining an item from them through an auction will invite their wrath. What the Huan family demands is absolute authority. Even if their belongings were placed before you, you would not dare touch them. You would instead return them willingly. Otherwise, you can only pray they never find you while living the rest of your life in fear." Sun Si sighed softly. "Even now, I still dare not consume the pill I obtained." Wang Lin remained silent, his gaze unwavering. A voice rang out from the auction floor below. "The next item is a rank 8 pill. This pill may only be consumed by ascendant cultivators. Anyone below that realm who takes it will have their body explode and die. The auction begins at 10,000 celestial jades. On the second floor of the auction hall, a middle-aged man clad in crimson robes held a jade box in his hands. He slowly opened it, revealing a pill the size of a baby's fist. The pill emitted no medicinal fragrance whatsoever. It looked utterly ordinary. Waves of murmurs rippled through the hall. Every cultivator present possessed keen eyesight. A rank 8 pill was an incomparably rare treasure. Yet if one's cultivation was insufficient, such a pill was no different from lethal poison. If it could not be consumed, then merely carrying it would become a curse. Any cultivator lacking the strength to protect it would face catastrophic disaster the moment they stepped outside the city. Thus, although the hall buzzed with discussion, not a single person placed a bid. A few young cultivators showed signs of eagerness but were instantly stopped by the elders beside them. In the elders' eyes, this was not a pill, it was a human head. Whoever bought it would lose their head. Moreover, the situation itself was deeply strange. Why would the Ran family auction such a pill? Could it be that the Ran family's ancestor had no need for it? Why sell it publicly? Those with sharper minds grew increasingly uneasy, and their reluctance to bid only deepened. Time passed slowly. Still no bids were placed. The man in red remained completely unhurried, as though he had anticipated this outcome. The Ran family had meticulously distributed the invitation tokens for this auction. They were confident that none of these participants would dare bid on the pill. If someone truly lacked eyes, the Ran family would not mind killing them and reclaiming it afterward. The man's gaze occasionally swept toward the fourth floor. Then he spoke loudly. "Is there anyone willing to bid? If no one does, this rank 8 pill will be placed into storage within the whole treasure pavilion." Wang Lin's gaze lingered on the pill for a long while. A trace of coldness flashed in his eyes before he spoke calmly. "1 celestial jade. If you are willing to sell it to me, then I will buy it." Though his voice was calm, it echoed clearly throughout the second floor. For an instant the hall fell silent, then erupted into uproar. 1 celestial jade. Who is this person? Has he gone mad? The starting price was 10,000 celestial jades. Offering one is absurd. This has never happened even in the whole treasure pavilion. The Ran family stands behind this pavilion. Such behavior invites calamity. This is openly humiliating the whole treasure pavilion. The voice came from the fourth floor. Anyone there is no ordinary cultivator, but this is outright offending the Ran family. The red-robed man froze and looked up toward the fourth floor. He was not a cultivator from this city, but a direct member of the main Ran family. His mission had been simple: sell this pill to a specific person. A bitter smile formed in his heart. The person he had been waiting for had finally appeared, and even placed a bid. But the price, if this bid were accepted, it would be equivalent to announcing to the world that there was a massive secret behind this auction. The Ran family's reputation would suffer greatly. More importantly, it would reveal fear. No one would believe that a rank 8 pill could be sold for a single celestial jade. If such a thing truly happened, it would trigger endless and unimaginable trouble. Yet he had no choice. The old ancestor had already decreed that this pill must be auctioned here. Inside the private room on the fourth floor, Sun Tai froze with his teacup still raised. His eyes filled with a strange expression before he set the cup down and sighed deeply. "Brother Shu, I truly admire you. Truly." Sun Qiming stood beside him equally stunned and speechless. 1 celestial jade for a rank 8 pill. Not only them, even Lu, the young attendant, stared in disbelief. That voice was unmistakably familiar. It belonged to the very cultivator he had stopped outside several days ago. Lu muttered to himself, "This person has gone insane." At that very moment, no one noticed that within a private room on the third floor, an old man's mind shook violently upon hearing that voice. He abruptly raised his head and stared toward the fourth floor, a strange light flashing in his eyes. This is not his voice. And yet why did my soul tremble? He fell silent for a long time. In my entire life, only that Chen Yu ever left a brand upon my soul. The old man stood up, hesitated, then slowly sat back down, staring blankly at the floor. That brand should have shattered on planet Donglin. So why does it still exist? On the second floor, the red-robed man hesitated before clenching his teeth. Since there is only one bidder, the pill will be sold for 1 celestial jade. A sneer appeared at the corner of Wang Lin's lips. He extended his right hand. The pill flew out of the red-robed man's grasp and landed in Wang Lin's palm. Wang Lin tossed out a single celestial jade, clasped his hands briefly towards Sun Tai, and turned to leave. The uproar behind him was completely ignored. With a single step, Wang Lin teleported out of the whole treasure pavilion. "One pill alone is not enough to drag me into this," he said calmly as he walked away. On the third floor, the old man clenched his teeth and vanished without a trace. After reaching a secluded area, Wang Lin stopped and turned around. The old man from the pavilion appeared behind him. He carefully examined Wang Lin's doubt written across his face. Noticing Wang Lin's gaze, the old man sighed softly. "Fellow cultivator, this old man mistook you for someone else. I hope you will not take offense." With that, he turned and walked away, his back carrying the weight of countless years. Wang Lin pondered briefly, then spoke slowly. "Sun Tai." The instant those 2 words reached the old man's ears, his entire body shook violently. He spun around, staring at Wang Lin in shock. "You, it really is you." Wang Lin swept his divine sense over Sun Tai. He frowned. "How did the bloodline ability of the giant demon clan ancestor send you to the all-heaven star system?" Sun Tai smiled bitterly. "I have been puzzled by this for hundreds of years as well. According to my understanding, that bloodline ability should not be this powerful." Wang Lin asked, "The brand on your body is extremely weak." "Why?" Sun Tai pondered for a moment. "Do you know about planet Donglin in the all-heaven star system?" Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. He did not allow Sun Tai to continue. With a wave of his sleeve, the two vanished. When they reappeared, they stood outside Wang Lin's residence in the northern part of the city. Wang Lin led Sun Tai inside. After sitting cross-legged, Wang Lin looked at him calmly. "You may speak now. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much."